업앤다운 매치.
전대회 우승자 정종현의 충격 탈락, 역대 우승자, 준우승자들의 이어진 패배, 대혼돈의 코드 S. 황당호, 김영진, 양준식 화려하게 GSL 데뷔를 치른 신예들의 고공행진, 대환란의 코드 A. 역대 최고의 선수들이 집결한 별들의 전쟁, 업앤다운 매치. 2011년 3월 11일 그들에게 닥친 운명의 결정. 이제 주사위는 던져졌다. 지키려는 자의 심령,
이태덕 선수와 임용환 선수가 승격 강경전
빼앗으려는 자의 투지. 지상 최고의 결전이 펼쳐진 업앤다운 매치. 24명 GSL 리거들의 운명을 건 혈투가 지금 시작됩니다.
As you can see, we have some new booths here.
There he is.
There he is, the
man of
amulet.
the hour.
The Kiter and amulet is in his booth at the bottom right. That is LiquidHuk.
Make sure that you guys are talking about him on the forums, on Facebook, on Twitter.
On
Hashtag
Twitter.
the GSL. We want to
Mostly
trend
on
Huck.
Twitter. Artosis, you don't need to tell people to talk about a team looking at Reddit. You need to talk to them, tell them to talk about it on
I
Twitter
want to talk
because
about everywhere.
we need to spread the word, guys. Now, again, there's not as much pressure in this first round for these two because they have a second chance. But
Yes.
ideally, you want to get out now.
Now,
Scott
I
Free.
do want to point out this one thing. I feel like it needs to be pointed out. Of course, StarCraft 1 players have been the most successful at the top levels in StarCraft 2. And
Yep.
Choya is the only ex-StarCraft 1 pro gamer in this group. So, yeah, there's not a lot of pressure because they do get a second shot. But even though I feel like I like both these guys and their play styles more than Choya's, he was a StarCraft 1 pro, man. That guy knows how to play some StarCraft. So both of these guys definitely going to want to knock the other one down, even though they're quite good friends.
Yeah. A lot of pressure here. Inca also just a very friendly guy. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to get out of this group. Honestly, I don't really know who's the favorite here, though. You know,
Between these two, it's very hard to say,
tough.
Taceless.
They're evenly matched in skill. Their teammates, which makes it even more difficult to call. So head-to-head, Huck against Inca. One of these players who's going to get through. As you can see Huck getting in the zone right now. And, man, I'm really excited. Getting all
Oh,
wiggly.
man. I am so pumped for Huck. Of course, here's the thing. I really like Inca as well. He's actually such a cool Protoss. He's got,
Yeah,
you know, he's got
he's one of the
flair.
more fun people to commentate
Yeah,
because
he's not
doing crazy
overly
stuff.
stylistic, but he's got flair.
Yeah.
And I like that type of player.
Well, it's
quite a
not
bit.
like bit-by-bit primer. I'm like, well, actually what he does is he takes all his
Yeah.
SCVs and units and attacks you.
He's not like Marine King
Inca
either.
will do some
No.
kind of... Yeah, Marine King style also much more defined,
Yeah.
easy to identify. Inca, will mix it up every once in a while. And the countdown started. So let's see who's going to win this. Our first map will be Shakura's Plateau. Head-to-head, Huck against Inca, casted by Taceless and Artosis. Tastosis, you're at the GSL. Let's get ready for some awesome PvP stuff. Action, not stuff. Stuff terrible in action. So sorry. Cringed right when I said it.
Should we
All
end it now?
Let's get this going. It's on in the red at the bottom left. Cross spots our player representing the North American scene. LiquidHuk. There he is now. A lot of pressure in this best of three. Over here to the upper right, our player.
oGsInCa.
Very solid. One of my favorite Protosses to watch. And those headsets do change color based off of the X per minute. Oh! GSL love. It's merging together like an Archon, Artosis. A little hard.
Yeah, it is. Archon paper. That's
you
what
go.
we're going to have to write all our letters on from now on. I write half the letter, you write half the letter, we put it together.
Makes a full letter.
It's about like totally different things. I'm like, oh, Jesus, why are you writing about Angry Birds again?
Soon I will be an Angry Birds pro gamer.
Yeah.
If this whole casting thing doesn't work out.
Well, Tasteless looking for some proxies there. You always got to check for proxies in PvP, just be careful. So far, identical builds, of course. PvP builds are generally pretty identical up until the cybernetics core is about 75% done. Then things can start to change.
Yeah, we don't see double warp gate like we do in StarCraft 1 in this matchup. Although, frankly, double gateway in StarCraft
Only
1.
if
I
it's
never
proxy.
really thought it was actually a very good build in StarCraft 1. It's always better to just get gas. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it is checking on when does a player cut probes. You can cut probes at 19 and do a warp gate rush.
Keep your eye on chrono boost, on how many gateways they get, what they're chrono boosting, when they get their second gas, how many gateways they get at what times. These are the informations that you're going to want to get before a stalker is out to kill your scouting probe. Both players getting a Zealot. Huck's Zealot just slightly quicker. Huck takes the lead.
He's so good. By the way, Jared from Pure Ponage wrote me on Facebook. He is rooting for Huck right now.
Yeah.
Pure Ponage, great show. I know many of you nerds out there, if you're watching the English stream, you're probably rooting for Huck right now. Now, it's interesting to note that Inca did opt to chrono boost out the Stalker, which means his warp grade upgrade is going to be a little bit later. And actually, interestingly enough, Huck not chrono boosting the cybernetic score.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He does have 2 chronos saved up right now. And as the probe gets chased out, Inca does get a second gas very, very quickly. Huck, I think, is going to just go ahead and do the 4 warp gate.
Yep, there it is, 4 warp gate rush.
He's going for it, Tasteless. It's time, Tasteless.
Can you check Huck's probes? Is it at
Of
is it
course
19?
I can.
Oh,
He's
20.
at 20.
All right.
Yep. Good number to be at. Going to stop probe production for now.
All right. This is an important moment here, this engagement in the middle. A lot of it's down to who has the more stock range
Uh-oh. And Inca has definitely out-microed Huck here by quite a bit, and the probe goes down. The 4 warp gate rush is going to be really hurting from here, Tasteless.
It looks like in Inca's base, I just want to point out, he is not getting 4 warp gates, he's getting 3.
Yep.
So he was pretty confident in his micro in the middle of the map here.
But, you know, Huck's actually in some trouble right now. You know, he didn't make all those probes, and he's going 4 warp gates. He lost a Stalker without killing anything, except for a Zealot, which, like, you want the Stalkers more than Zealots. And just things are looking very, very good for Inca right now, who is getting a robotics facility to go with his 3 gateways. And robotics facility is the perfect counter to 4 warp gate.
Yep.
And right now
they can't get there, yeah.
Sorry, Tasteless, I just have so much to say. Inca looks like he wants to, perhaps...
I'm actually startled by this.
Yeah.
I don't understand why would you rush in this situation?
Is he maybe just faking it, maybe just, like, checking?
You know what? Yeah. That might actually... Okay, that's a good observation.
Yeah, he sees the 4 gates then.
He's actually probably faking this 4 warp gate rush.
Now, here is the thing. Ooh. All right. Huck getting a Twilight Council, as you see. Now, the probe count is 28 for Inca, 21 for Huck. So Inca actually has the better end of tech and the better end of probes. So as long as he doesn't lose those 2 Stalkers right there, which looks like he won't, he should be able to hold this rush off without any real problem. And he's definitely going to gain the lead here, Tasteless.
Does he have a pylon at his ramp? He doesn't. That's actually pretty bad by Huck. I mean, Inca, excuse me. It's really going to have pylon at the ramp, because if the rush does start, you want your Stalkers and Sentries to get to the ramp right away. And then he's going to chrono boost that Blink. I think this is probably the best move that Huck can do, considering his 4 warp gate rush failed, is to just kind of tech into, having a lot of strong Stalkers. And, Huck does have very good unit control, very good micro.
Now, the tricky thing is going to be, though, Tasteless, like, yeah, he's going for the Blink, which is nice, but when your opponent goes Colossus against this, obviously Colossus-based armies with some gateway units are going to be just gateway-based units. So it's going to come down a lot to, are you going to run around your opponent, Huck, or what? I mean, are you going to go ahead and make a Nexus and just try to overwhelm him? It can be quite dangerous. The robotics player can actually control the flow of the game by just sitting there and get his expansion very carefully, massing Colossi, and just moving out with an unbeatable force.
Oh, the few shots that are going to be... Oh, very nice.
Oh, nice.
Blocking the entrance. That was actually very good.
Well, here's the thing. Inca has a Blink-killing army up there, a bunch of Zealots, a couple Sentries for Guardian Shields, and Immortals. And I don't even want to tell you how quick that would kill a group of blinking Stalkers.
Well, tell that to Huck, because he's trying to go up there right now.
Well, you know, that's the beauty of Blink Stalker. You can go up there, harass a little bit, and blink away before you lose real hit points, but with 2 Immortals, that's not something you can do. They're just going to start crushing the Stalkers down. But Huck is making an expansion, as we see.
I don't think Huck will actually get a Robo Bay for a while here. He's going to want to try to get this expansion up. And nice blink control. Did lose 1 Stalker there.
Yeah, he's got to be very careful at this. There is right now a 4th gate for Inca, as well as Colossus coming. So it looks like Inca just wants to go ahead and 1 base, attack Huck, and see if he can kill him.
You got to be very careful when you're against if you're going blink and your opponent got Immortals out, because the attack animation for Immortals is instantaneous. Once it's shot, that hits the Stalker, unlike a Stalker's shot, which has to connect with the unit animation.
Now, this army is moving out. The supply right now is 64 for Huck, 72 for Inca. Inca's army definitely does beat Huck's. Huck has to be very, very careful about this. The fact that he's running away is going to make Inca feel very confident here.
Did he actually have Thermal Lance on that?
No, he does not have
Okay,
Thermal
there was
Lance.
some weird shot there. It looked like it had more range than it actually did. Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't think that Huck can stop this. This all goes back to that 1 probe that was killed during the 4 Warp Gate rush. And you can see he's going to try to get a flank here.
A lot of this will come down to the micro. Will he accidentally lose that Colossus in a bad way?
In a bad way, not in a good way.
Well, if he lose it killing all his stuff, that's fine. That's a pretty good way, I guess. And this is going to get really scary for Huck really, really quick.
Okay, he's got to back up for sure. And this will trigger Inca to attack.
And here come the Zealots. Good force fields. Huck targeting down the Colossus. And he does walk it out of there. It goes down, but with these additional Immortals, that is going to do sick damage to all of the Stalkers of Huck.
The Zealots are here. He just wants to control this high ground area.
Yep.
Nice force
Good force field by Huck right there.
I like it how he's warping in a Stalker. No, it's Zealot actually on the high ground.
Zealots on the high ground should have been warped down the low,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. Those 2 Immortals, Tasteless, they are just worth their weight in gold here. They are crushing down these Stalkers, and it looks like Huck is going to be taking out GG. Inca takes down game number 1.
You know, I got to say, Huck's control is very good. It's just the raw numbers of the units and the combination, which is much healthier, much more balanced, coming from Inca. I mean, that just won the game for him. But let's not lose track of what really happened in that game. It was really actually the 1 Zealot and 1 Stalker against the 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker, and the probe was killed. And if you're 4 Warp Gate rushing and you lose that probe, well, I mean, you're no longer going to be able to 4 Warp Gate rush.
Yes, that's what it comes down to.
It's that simple. Yeah.
Huck did get out microed in the middle. Also, you know, he just ran away with his Stalkers, and that's the decision you have to make. Do you try to counterattack with the Stalkers, or do you try to run away? And I don't know. I kind of lean towards the counterattack. It just it slows them down. They run back in. You get a few kills, then you blink out of the main. And I would have liked to see that from Huck, but that Curse is a hard map for that. You know, there's not a lot of area for you to go hide in.
I think what you're saying is the best solution from what we've seen from MC is if you go for Stalkers with Blink, yeah, your opponent's going to have a stronger army, but what do you have? You have mobility.
Yeah.
It's like having Mutalisks. You might not be able to defend if they're attacked, but you know what you can do? You can just avoid their army, go into their main, kill probes, and then that gets for an interesting situation because then suddenly, first of all, you're going to kill their workers before they're going to get into your base, which means they're going to have a little bit of a timing advantage.
It's scary to do a base trade against that, basically.
Yeah. Especially, you know, with Blink. It's such a mobile army. So we're going to go on to game number 2 here. But, yeah, I mean, if I had to draw some kind of conclusion from that game, I would say what you want to do is counterattack with Blink.
Yeah,
Blink
see, this
in,
is
Blink
why
out.
Blink is kind of on the outside looking in. It's this weird build. You really have to do a lot of tricky maneuvers with it. It's not fully discovered the power of the Blink Stalker yet.
Game number 2. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to run over you there. Game number 2. Tal'Darim Altar is going to be our map, one of our new maps. It's a big map. So you could still see 4 Warp Gate rushes because Protoss have Warp Gates. But again, before we get this going any further, get on Twitter, #GSL, and the word Huck. Do it. I'm talking to you, persons listening. I have cameras in your house. I know if you do it. No, I don't. No, I don't.